Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Jesus Strong. I'm here in my office studying for tonight. Gonna have a Zoom call on the book of Haggai, and I'm calling it The Shaking of the Nations and the Harvest. God's really used Haggai chapter 1 and 2 in a big way in my life. If you watched Jesus Strong last week, you heard me talk about it. You can go back a couple Jesus Strongs and listen to what I had to say from Haggai chapter 2. But I'm really pumped about tonight, and it's going to be a Zoom call, and you'll see it on our website, but check it out. Anyway, this has been an interesting time for all of us, and what God's up to me is the primary question. Why is God shaking the whole world? And he is. World War I and World War II didn't even come close to shaking all the nations of the earth like COVID-19 and the coronavirus. This is really shaking the whole world. And in Haggai chapter 2, we read this: I will shake all the nations, and they shall come to the desire of all the nations. So God is shaking all the nations to bring about a harvest. Are we in the end times? Are we in the last days? I don't know. I'm not going to make any predictions along those lines. That's way above my pay grade. But I'll say this, that God's shaking the nations for a harvest. And we're hearing, the rumblings of a move of God. And at the road at Chapel Hills, I believe God's calling us to another level, another breakthrough of passionate prayer for harvest of young people. I'm just burdened these days, men and women, with our young people, with the millennials and the Gen Zers and those below that. That's why I asked Liz to be the director of our children's ministry at the road. It's why Ryan and Mandy are doing the youth ministry. It's why we believe so strongly that our young people are the future leaders, and that's why we started Outlier University at our church. But on another level, I think God's up to something that is huge here. I believe we're going to see a mighty harvest coming in the next few years. So we're trying to position the road that way. That's my church. I can't speak for anybody else, but how do we capture what God wants to do? And I think Haggai is giving us a prophetic meaning to this idea of why God sometimes shakes things. We go back to 2 Chronicles 7, 13 and 14, that, he brings pestilence upon the land so that the people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray and seek his face and turn from their wicked ways. And then he heals the land. So God shakes us a lot of times with things in our life. Some of you have been through that in your personal life. You've been shaken through a marriage problem, or through something with one of your kids, or through a disease, or whatever it might be. God often shakes us to wake us. He shakes us to wake us. So join me tonight. We're going to go through Haggai. It's a 3-week study, so we'll do Haggai chapter 1 tonight. Love to have you join us, and we'll do a big Zoom call. I'm going to head over to the church to do it because our internet isn't very good over here. But it's going to be a fun time. I hope it'll be a dialogue with each of you that join us. But if you haven't yet, read Haggai 1 and 2. Won't take you more than about 15 minutes or 10 minutes to read it. But I see chapter 2, verse 7 is the key verse for the whole book. So be strong today. Be Jesus strong today. God bless you. And if you're joining us tonight, look forward to seeing your face on the screen or your name. God bless you.